What's going on, my beautiful people? We are here another great day inside the Black Actor Studio. I'm your host, Danny Royce, and joining me today is a multi-talented actor, writer, producer, and entrepreneur. You've seen him recently in Blackish, The Last OG, Opposite of Tracy Morgan, and many more. Don't move a muscle.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, that's those keys start playing. What's up? We are inside the Black Actor Studio. Our guest today has made a name for himself here in Hollywood. One of young Hollywood's busiest stars, because he's everywhere, on the rise. Full-time writer on the hit Starz series Survivor's Remorse. You've seen him appear in blockbusters like The Equalizer, Training Day, one of my favorites, Live Free or Die Hard. The Black Actor Studio is very proud to welcome Alan Maldonado.
Appreciate that.
What's good, man?
Thank you, man. Everything is good, man.
Good. Thanks for coming.
Man. No problem. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
And so how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing excellent, man.
Yeah.
Just a little tired.
Yeah.
a little tired.
A little tired.
Being everywhere is exhausting.
Right.
But I wouldn't change a thing.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So I want to start off right from the beginning. Just say I love the work on Blackish.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you,
funny.
man. I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish
Yeah,
with that
definitely.
series, man. Man, our 5th season.
Right.
It's
Fifth
crazy.
season. That crazy. What's one of your favorite memories from that show, like so far?
Wow, man. I just think the first season, the rap party, and just seeing, everybody from Kenya down just being appreciative of what we were doing. To be able, we were kind of, at the forefront of, I guess, this new diversity wave of more black shows on television.
Right.
Blackish was one of the first and few at that particular time. It was Blackish, it was Survivor's Remorse, and it was the Carmichaels. It wasn't a lot of us on air, and to be able to get the notoriety and just the appreciation of what we were doing and was, incredible to me. As an actor, you find yourself in a position of you just want to have a job.
Yeah.
You just want to have a job, and then to have a job and then it be something as impactful as that show has grown to become. It's a blessing, man.
Yeah,
It's a blessing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, and I'm looking forward to a lot more.
Yeah. We're still running. We're still going.
We're still running, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get back to some of your credits later on. But I like to start off every show with the beginning. Where were you born?
Man, I was born in Bellflower, California, which is, a neighbor city to Compton, where I grew up till I was about 9. Until I was 7. Then I moved to Rialto. Which is, what I claim is my hometown.
Nice.
Being that I grew up there, I was molded there as a young man. A lot of the foundation of who I am, my work ethic is all built from Rialto, man. The IE, man. So,
there you go.
So that's what I represent everywhere I go.
Nice.
Rialto, yeah.
So being a California native, what do you feel about all these transplants and like so many people
You know
covered?
what, man? I just hate the term. I'm a bit sensitive when people are like, people be acting Hollywood, all these California people, and I be like,
right.
You know what I mean? Take yourself south of the 10 and then come back with that assessment, man.
Yep.
A lot of people get, a lot of us Californians get a bad narrative, because of the implants. They come in with this false idea of what and how things function here and this Hollywood way, and they get that confused with what really happens in Los Angeles, from Compton to Rialto to people, real people are real problems. They're not really around these individuals to base that judgment on. So I definitely hear that a lot. And then people always like, you don't seem like you're from California. I'm like, no, I am from California. I'm the real California guy.
Exactly, yeah.
And you're just getting the real. You're not getting, everybody's, I guess, guesstimate of what a California native is. So,
Right.
So yeah, I'm definitely a bit sensitive when I hear that. I'm like, oh, stop it.
Yeah, I know. I got quite a few California native friends, and they're amazing. Like, it's the people that come now.
It's, everybody got their, false pretenses.
Exactly.
Pretenses, and like, it is what it is.
So you were raised by your mother, right? Single mother. You lost your father to cancer.
When I was young.
Do you have like many memories of him, or is it
my
just,
father?
Yeah.
No. I only knew my father for 2 weeks.
Wow.
When I was 9. When I was 9, I flew to New York and spent 2 weeks with him, and he passed the week after I got back.
Wow.
So yeah, it was my mother. Who I am is a direct response to my mother's upbringing. She was born in Alabama, came to California by herself, and raised 3 kids by herself. So everything that I do and the work that I put into everything that I do in all of my companies, to me, it's nothing in comparison to what she was able to do to raise 3 kids in a state by herself, away from her family, is more impossible than the things that I've been able to accomplish. So that's always my bar. As I don't have any kids yet, but to have that type of pressure, and that type of life where you're on a tightrope with no safety net.
Right.
And to be able to not just be on that tightrope, but also carry 3 kids on your back is, how I see what she was able to accomplish. So yeah, that's the foundation of who I am is my mother.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment just to hats off for all the single mothers out there doing their thing, because without y'all, man,
it's real.
It's real. It is real for sure. And so you are half Puerto Rican, half black, right? Nice, fellow Afro-Latino. We out here. We out here.
Boricua, exactly. That's right.
So how was that for you? We're gonna get into it a little bit more, but growing up, like identity-wise, you go through that, like, okay, I'm not black enough. I'm not.
What's crazy? I never felt it on the black side. I guess just because that's all I grew up around. I never really felt it on that side. Like I was always in. You know what I'm saying? And then I would go to New York in the summers and spend time with my family over there. It wasn't that I didn't fit in. It's just that I didn't know the culture. And I was just slowly learning it, and I'm still learning it. As I was raised by my mother, who was black. So I always get the side eye from all my, my Latino counterparts when they ask, "You don't speak Spanish?" And I was like... And then I don't want to bring the party down, because they be like, "Yeah, you don't speak Spanish." Oh my God, like, what you doing now? And they be like, "Yo, my father passed when I was 7." Oh, and I'm like, I didn't want to just lead with that. The reason I don't speak Spanish is my father. So yeah, like that's always something. But through it all, I've never had an issue with identity at all, just because I've always been myself.
Nice.
I never really leaned on my ethnicity to define my personality.
I like that.
I got along with everybody in high school. It didn't matter what you were, color,
Nice.
where you were from the hood or from the suburbs. I got along with everybody.
Nice.
I never really got caught up in that.
Okay, that's dope. Did you have any nicknames growing up?
That's a real
that you can say on air.
Yeah. I don't know if I can say all of them on air. Man, I had a man. I'll tell you one funny one, because I grew up in Rialto the Vineyards, i.e. everybody know. I grew up around some some gangbangers, drug dealers, and all that. And I grew up with Hoovers. If anybody knows what that is. They're Crips, or they're rather than that Crip. They're more black rap, but I don't even feel like getting dissecting all that.
Dissecting all that.
But it was there. But dissecting the gang culture. That's not the question. That's not the question. But I grew up with the Grooves, and I used to have 2 long ponytails.
Yeah.
And they used to call me Ponytail Cuz. They're like, man, where Ponytail Cuz at? Man, Ponytail Cuz, come here, man. Like, so I used to run around, run errands for them, and do all type of stuff as a little homie. But yeah, Ponytail Cuz was one of them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I can see that. We got some photos of you and your cuz.
That's Ponytail Cuz right there. That's Al Wiz. I got several names.
Several names.
They're gonna be in the comments heavy right now.
Right, for sure.
I'm gonna let them do that.
Right, let them take
I'm gonna let them do that. I'm gonna let them take care of that.
So you mentioned a little bit about in school. So were you pretty much like, you got along with everybody? And all that. Did you get into any acting, show choir, any musicals then, or was it more so after?
Man, I played basketball in high school, and that's where I got my work ethic. Because I'll be the first one to tell everybody when I played basketball, I sucked, man. I was my freshman year, I got cut. Like 10th grade year, I came back and I made the team. But what was hilarious is that my coach Sipe, rest in peace. He came up to me after I made the team, and he was like, "Hey, Alan, man, you suck." I said, "Okay." I said, "I appreciate that.
Wow.
Great confidence builder. That's
right.
That's what a coach is here for." But he was like, "Yo," he said, "the reason you make the team is that you make everybody around you work harder." And at the time, I didn't really get that. I just was like, that's all I had was effort.
Right.
And through time, I got better, and I ended up being one of the best shooters on the team. Broke the school record at one point. Shout out to Montreal because he broke my record like 2 weeks afterward. But no,
short-lived, but it's okay.
Short-lived, but I broke the school record. I had 7 threes in one game. I think he did 8.
Wow.
But yeah, like it was that, and because I wasn't naturally gifted at that, but I worked my butt off to be better at it. And it was my senior year in high school that I found I needed an elective, and I was just like, I'm gonna just take acting. It's something that I could do to be easy.
Yeah.
Senior year, I'm not trying to work too hard. I ain't trying to work too hard.
Right.
So I get in there, and it was like a fish to water. Like everything it spoke to me. It energized me. I began, writing and doing different skits, and I wrote we have it was like an improv or showcase. And it was it had about 19 skits, and I wrote 15 out of the 19, and it just was the natural fit. So I slowly began to transition that energy from basketball to acting, and that's what really sparked everything. Was my senior year in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, not just basketball, but you picked up boxing that was after.
That was after. Boxing
okay.
was after, man. I was doing everything in high school. I was in the salsa club.
There you go.
Yeah, I was prom king.
Hey.
I was heavily involved in a lot. I loved school, man. I loved school because I was almost like an only child. I had 2 older sisters, but they were a lot older than me.
Gotcha.
So by the time I was 13, my sisters were both out of the house. So it was just me. So it was either be at the house by myself or be at school with a crowd that I could entertain and have fun with, and just enjoy life.
Exactly.
I love school, so I was involved with a lot of stuff. But boxing didn't come to years later.
Okay.
Maybe that was 7 years ago. I always had an infatuation with boxing, but I never pursued the ability of boxing.
Right.
Until I think it was 7 years ago that I just really fell in love with training and getting better. And it's a workout that when you lift weights, you don't get better at lifting weights.
Yeah.
It's
just the form.
It's form. You can't really see any growth other than your physical.
Right.
But in boxing, you can see your physical growth and also your ability. You can go from day 1 to day 300, and you're like, oh wow, I'm actually learning the skill. So that's what's also great about boxing, along with it's a great workout.
Yeah, I love boxing too, and I've been seeing you duking on IG.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Sparring and all that, man. I love to get in there, man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, growing up, or when you got into acting, did you? Who inspired you on the television screen? What shows did you watch?
Will Smith.
Will Smith, yeah.
Will Smith, hands down, man. Will Smith, I remember reading his biography at the time. And from cover to cover, I never read a book with that much intent.
Right.
Yeah. Will Smith was, definitely my inspiration early on. Just what he was able to do, the way he carried himself. He was the top of the game. He was the biggest movie star in the world.
Yeah.
But just the way he did it, he did it in a fun, cool way. Like, as we see more and more of him on IG, it just confirms. It just confirms how this individual is just he's special, and he's just fun to be around. Like he's just fun to be around.
Yeah,
just from
from
what you see on IG and just what you witnessed through his entire career.
Right.
He just seems like it's a good person. I've never met him, but it just seemed like a good person. That was the main person that inspired me early on.
Okay, and what about like any TV shows, any black shows out there that was in? Martin for sure.
Martin is by far, but hands down, my favorite comedian of all time.
Man. Yeah.
It was crazy. I got to meet him at Tracy's when they gave Tracy his star on the Walk of Fame. And I got to sit behind him and Tracy, and it was just. It was profound just because me and Tracy have conversations about him and Martin's relationship and how it, basically is full circle with me and him. Like Martin took him under his wing, and Tracy's taking me under his wing. And he says it all the time. And I remind him so much of Martin, just the energy that I bring and everything. And I think that's just the biggest compliment that I can get from Tracy.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. That's an awesome compliment.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
So I want to go into like one of your first like really great bookings on Young and the Restless. Your recurring role. How was that for you when you found out you booked it, and what did you do to prepare for that role?
Wow, man. First off, rest in peace, Christoph, man. Just an incredible individual, an incredible man. Just very sad, you know, when I heard of his passing, just because he was another person that really looked out for me when I got on Young and the Restless, man. It wasn't too many of us on there.
No.
Wasn't too many of us on there, and it was really cool of him embracing me, because I'm talking about I'm fresh out the hood. Fresh. Wowzers. Fresh out the hood, not refined at all.
Jagged.
Ghetto, straight from the block. There you go, right there. There you go, straight from the block, man. I was rough around the edges, to say the least, man.
Yeah.
I don't really just go to the story. I'll go into the prepare for the role, but I just remember.
Go ahead.
I just remember it was just to let you know where I was at, the level of ghetto where I was at. I remember it was a Christmas party. It was a formal Christmas party.
God.
Formal Christmas party. And the whole time, the people around me like, yo, you got to go in a suit. And I'm like, nah, man, I don't do suits, man. From the block, I'm coming up there. I'm keeping it real.
Right.
I'm keeping it real, man. Like I'm coming there with my Timbs on. I got my jeans. I got the leather Avrex. I spent $800 on this leather. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to bust this. This is about to go out.
Yeah.
Man, I pull up to the event. I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. I can see all the black people in there like, oh.
I can't imagine.
All the black people put their hand there. I'm like, oh, and I'm wearing it with confidence, and I'm still walking around. Everybody looking like, who that? Is this dude with the leather jacket on?
Man.
And I just remember, shout out to Shamar. I just remember hitting the corner, and Shamar Moore's like, yo, like, oh, I was like, yo. I'm loving it. Like, yo, he was going crazy over the outfit.
Nice.
Me wearing this leather jacket, man. And then fast forward, this is a full kind of story to it all. Like, I know I'm kind of missing the question, but at the end of my stint, because the reason I ended on Young and the Restless was I got in a car accident.
Yep.
And I'll dig into the car accident in a second.
Yeah.
But and part of my recovery, I was able to go to the next year's Christmas party. Next year's Christmas party. It was a formal. Again.
Yep.
I learned my lesson. I got a cane because I broke my leg in the car accident. So I got a cane. I got my suit on, and I'm there, and I'm like. Still ghetto. Still, I had like a whole like app. What is it? the hors d'oeuvre tray.
Oh, the hors d'oeuvre tray. Yeah. Hors d'oeuvre.
I just had one.
Oh,
I just had
for
the
real?
whole plate.
Oh,
I just
my
had the,
God.
I said, just give me the whole plate.
Just eating off.
Yeah, this whole plate. It was some coconut shrimp. Oh my God, it was some giant coconut shrimp. I was tearing up. I was like, nah, just leave the whole. They're like, what? No, just give me some. Tray. I was wilding.
Funny.
So I'm in there eating off the tray. Shamal Moore hits the corner. Guess what he got on?
He got
the full leather jacket on. He's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what happened? I was like, yo. So it was love, man. It was love on Young and the Restless, man. But preparing for this but preparing for the audition was incredible. As I like to, I consider myself an actor's actor. I know a lot of people are seeing me with the comedy stuff as of late, but the first 10 years of my career was all dramatic, like crying. The whole nine, just heavy work. And I definitely, wear that as a badge of honor. The acting chops that I was able to possess, to be able to groom during that time. So, when it came to the screen test, like I went in there, guns blazing. I gave it my all. And I had an incredible performance at the screen test where they call him Bob, but Bob is like one of the heads over there. He comes out of the back room and they think everybody's frozen. They saw a ghost. Again, I'm oblivious to all of this.
Right.
He come, I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He like, yo, I just want to let you know that was incredible. I think you're incredibly talented. I had to come out here and meet you myself.
Nice.
Again, I'm all right, cool.
Right.
So I'm walking off. People like, yo, that boy, like he never comes out the room. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay.
Nice.
I get a call from my manager. Shout out to the Prez, Robert. He's been my manager since I was 17.
Nice.
He was like, yo, you didn't get the part. I said, what do you mean? Like the dude came out the back. Like,
right.
He don't never come out the back. I'm over there repeating it like I know the context of it all. He don't never come out the back. Like, what you mean? He like, nah, but he said, but Bob created the role for you.
Nice.
He created the role. He's like, he only guaranteeing you 3 episodes, but he created a role for you. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Right.
That 3 turned into 17, and the only reason I ended, the reason I ended my Young and the Restless stint was I was hit by a drunk driver.
Right. So I want to definitely get into that, but first, as far as like comedy and drama, right? Because there's some actors right now they're like, oh, I'm only drama. I'm a dramatic actor. Right. How important is it to you that actors get that experience of improv, get that experience of comedy?
I just think it's to everybody's strength, man. I refer everything back to basketball as that was my first love. Like, there's certain players that are just great shooters. There's certain players that are good at the post. There's certain players that are great rebounders. There's certain players that are great, passing the ball. But then there's certain players that are just great all around. I urge for every actor to be as well-rounded as possible. But at the end of the day, Ray Allen is still in the Hall of Fame for shooting threes. Right. You know what I'm saying? He figured out what he was great at and honed in on that and became a star from that. Like, for sure. I never will criticize anybody for, sticking to their strengths and being able to, grow in that space. I think it's ludicrous to think if anybody any less of an entertainer, being that, he can only play one instrument. Like, but if he can play it. But if he's great at it, what's the problem?
Exactly.
So, I mean, again, you definitely want to, as to, in the art form of it all, be able to do as much as you can, but at the end of the day, man, focus on your strengths and really and build around that. Figure out a way how to be great and again, if you're a shooter, find your place in the game and be great at it and make your mark.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, for sure. And you say you were with your manager for since you were 17.
Yeah, I was 17,
so
brother.
What's what kind of holding that relationship for so long? Because a lot of actors go from different representations. What's something? Give us some like tips
Oh, wow.
that you guys
I mean, it's got to be it's a
communication?
partnership, man. My manager is, he's helped me grow as a man,
Nice.
and grow as a businessman. Just allowing me, early on, it was him, really taking the lead on a lot of things, and it's slowly transitioned as he's, in watching him, I've learned how this business operates, and being the person of celebrity, I have a little more power in certain arenas than he does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a partnership where there's certain arenas where he'll take the lead, and there's certain arenas where because of my celebrity, I know different individuals that he may not know. So it's a partnership. Through it all, I guess my biggest advice is, having somebody that believe in you and that you can trust, and that isn't afraid of working their butt off. Like we built this together. Like there's, this is a marathon. RIP Nipsey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a marathon, and you gotta find a good running mate that can stand the course.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because you got a lot of people that just are in love with you for the moment. You know what I'm saying? They're in love with you for the moment, and then as soon as you're not at full stride, they're not at full stride.
Exactly.
Where it should be a tit for tat. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
where when I'm running ahead, he's letting me go, and then when I'm slowing, he's going. It's a partnership. So it's just like a marriage.
Yeah,
it's just like
really
a marriage.
is.
You got to find somebody. You got to it takes years, to develop a great relationship with your team. But once you find that one person, or once you find that individual that speaks your language, then hold on to them tight.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the accident, man, like that. So people go through tragedies, and it sets them back a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they totally give up. So you seem to be. Like it set you back, obviously, but you came full throttle. Like you just kept going, which is amazing. So talk to us a little bit about like how it was right after, what happened, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess for the people that don't know, like I was hit by a drunk driver walking. I was hit by a BMW Roadster going 65 miles per hour. I flew in the air, landed on my face, broke my right leg, my spine was curved, my neck was like it's straightened. It's straightened like your neck is supposed to curve.
Right.
And it went straight. So so that ended my stint on Young and the Restless, and recovery was intense. Recovery had to sleep with a pillow with a hole in it for like a year. There was a lot of chiropractic stretches, and I was at the chiropractor basically every week, 2 or 3 times a day. My right leg was broke, so that limited me, and my face was distorted. It was a blessing that I needed plastic surgery or anything like that. Shout out to my doctors. They stitched me up, and it all came back. But my face, it took I think 6 months to get a full recovery. But definitely my testimony to God is that the week that I was cleared to audition, I booked 3 TV shows in 1 week. And
come on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that was just confirmation that I was, going in the right direction. But that whole accident was, was meant to be.
Yeah.
I always had I guess my position on it was, it was meant to be. I was never even mad at the person that hit me. I was only upset when we went to court that he didn't apologize. That was the only thing.
Wow. Okay.
It wasn't a thing of, why'd you do this or you did this? It was, no, I accepted that. Like, this was my obstacle. This was my cross to bear, so to speak. And I was up for the challenge. And it brought me a profound peace, meaning that I literally know that they hear it all the time, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Yeah.
I know that. Like, nothing on this earth shall kill me. It's my time to go. It's my time to go.
Right, for sure. For sure.
Some people trip, hit their head, and they gone.
Yeah.
Like, I was hit 60. Scientifically, I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that being said, it gives you it gave me a greater sense of fearlessness on anything that I want to do. Like, it's all about me meeting up with my blessings. And the more blessings I want, it all depends on the work ethic. It all depends on how fast and how hard I want to reach these blessings.
Right.
Everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm receiving, all of the success, all of the opportunities, they've already been sent out. You know, and it's on me to go meet up with them. And with that being said, and when me knowing that wholeheartedly is why I'm obsessed with success. Every day I'm like, how can I meet up with these blessings? Because I know it to be true. And if you know it to be true, you know if you do something, you're gonna feed your beast.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna do that. Feed your addiction, rather.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna continue doing that. Doing it. So people always wonder, like, what gets you up and what motivates you? Like, how can you? Where do you get all the energy from? And I'm like, because I know it to be true.
Yeah.
I know it to be true. I know that God has put down all these blessings for anybody, for everyone, you know. But it's up to you to get up and go get them.
Yeah.
Go get them. It's up to you. And how fast you get them. If you want to walk to it, you may get to 1, 2, 3 in your lifetime.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah.
Well, me, it's never a thing of how great can you be. You know, how if it's never a thing of if you're great. The question is, how great can you be?
Yeah.
So if you walk and I meet up with 3 blessings, okay. If I run, I may meet up with 10. Now, what if I build a car?
Yeah.
And I just start going 65 down this thing. How many blessings? And that's my mentality.
That's dope.
That's
like
my
that.
mentality.
I like that for sure.
Thank you.
I just want to take a moment to just thank you again for being
No
here.
problem. No problem.
Thank you to Black Hollywood Live and AfterBuzz TV for allowing us to be here inside the Black Actor Studio. Thank you all for watching right now. If you're watching live stream, thank you for tuning in. And so I want to get into a couple more of your credits. You know, Last OG, obviously working with Tracy. What's one of the biggest inspirations or moments that you've had from him working with him?
Wow, several. I guess the first one would be that I remember the first season that we were shooting in Brooklyn. That's his hometown. That's, you know, where he planted his roots and, you know, what he believes in and all the community work that he does. While we were out shooting, I saw 3 people cry. I saw 3 people cry in, you know, in talking to him and just of their love for him and how he was able to recover from his accident. And that's something that we share and we were able to relate. And just how impactful we are as entertainers to people, and the power that we possess. You know, making people, having the ability to make people laugh is a gift.
Yeah.
And it's something that, you know, people around the world really need, especially with the world as the way it is, and in the dark times, you just want to laugh sometimes. And Tracy has been, you know, a staple for Brooklyn and for these individuals, walking up to him and just so appreciative of him being alive and being able to do what he's always done and continue to make people laugh was impactful to me. It's like, wow, it was just a live representation of what we are and what we represent as entertainers to the world. So yeah, that was incredible.
Nice. And so what's tell us a little bit about like your character, and something that you've done offset to prepare and on set.
Oh man, Cousin Bobby is built off of all those years I spent in Harlem, Wagner Projects, what up? You know, with my cousins, all of my Puerto Rican cousins, and just M.E.N., all of them cats out there in Harlem, man, that I just grew up with. And Cousin Bobby is a mixture of a lot of individuals and just the life and energy that Harlem once possessed, man. Like I went to I went to Wagner the other day. It's just not the same, you know. Gentrification is real.
Yeah.
And there's the pros and cons to it, you know.
For sure.
The neighborhood is getting nicer. It's getting more expensive too. It's pushing a lot of the community and just the blood and the life out of it. It's not the same. And then I just remember the fun energy, just the liveness of Harlem growing up, and that's what Cousin Bobby possesses, is a lot of those, you know, characteristics from those individuals. The green hair was, you know, definitely something I came in with. I literally showed up. I literally showed up with green hair.
Oh, really?
Just because I was adamant on how I saw this character. that I wasn't even I didn't even ask because
Like,
I knew if I asked they would have told me no.
Right.
Because they didn't really see it. It's just because I wanted to be able to bridge the gap between Tracy's situation. He's been gone for 15 years, and me being the younger version of him, rather, being in the middle of his generation and the millennials and just all of that, and just the gentrification of it all, where he's a dude from the streets, but the dudes from the streets aren't the same as they were 20 years ago.
Right.
So that's where, in part, why the hair is green, along with I definitely not to say I fought, but I requested to have my brother Clyde's name as a neck tattoo. All of these things are things that I came in with, and the idea of how I saw Cousin Bobby. So it was really, really in depth as far as how I wanted visually, even to the haircut. The haircut is specific. Right. Again, it has an old school vibe to it. It's a W. The W. It's a W. But it was old school vibe with the name, but it's new. Like it was everything is very specific. If you really watch, and that's what I'm very proud. That's where the actor in me. Like I'm very into detail, so that's what I wanted to add to Cousin Bobby.
Okay. Yeah. So also just other actors, owning your character. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about like just owning your character and becoming your character on and off set? Oh, I guess I'm
a little confused on what you mean owning your character.
Oh, like just. Because people look at their character and they're like, okay, they judge their character sometimes, or they feel like they have a bar to reach. But you said you brought all these specific things to it.
Right. Right.
So what made you think that, okay, I have the freedom to do this? Is what I mean. Because some people wait to ask or wait for them to get it.
You gotta be an artist.
Yeah.
You gotta always be an artist, and as an actor, you should be already conditioned to hear no, right. Meaning that you should be fearless of it.
Yeah.
You should be fearless. To all my actors out there that have heard no 1,000 times, if you're hearing this, you're still alive and well. So it didn't kill you.
Right.
So why be afraid of something that can't harm you?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So as an artist, you come in with everything you want to bring in, and then it's a partnership, it's a collaboration. So you may not get everything that you request, but you may get something that you may surprise yourself.
Right.
But you can't make any shots you don't take. So. I could go down countless analogies, but at the end of the day, be fearless. Be fearless. Go in there as an artist. They hired you as an actor. They hired you for your ability and your talent and your vision, because when you take on these roles and you take on the script that another writer brung in, and usually they're collaborating with the showrunner, they're collaborating with the creator. So it's all a collaborative situation. So when it comes to it, when it finally lands into the actor's lap, it's your job. It's your job now to collaborate.
Right.
So it shouldn't be a dictatorship. It shouldn't be a thing of you do this exactly. No, that's why you hire me as an actor, to bring my artistic ability to this page.
For sure.
I always use the example of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
You give Jim Carrey an area and let him do his magic.
Right.
Like you let him do his magic. You can't go in there and be like, Jim Carrey, we need you to do it this way.
Nah, it ain't gonna work.
Nah, because you're not gonna get the magic. You're not gonna get the real artist that you hired. Right. So I always urge actors to always inject their artistry and be fearless with that. Again, all you're gonna get is no.
Yeah.
And then most of the times they're gonna say, hey, let's do it exactly on the page, and then I'll give you another one where you can do whatever you want.
Right.
That's
okay.
That's a collaboration.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a collaboration.
Nice.
So, and a lot of times they'll like what you did differently, or they don't.
Yeah.
Either way, you doing your work. You know what I'm saying? You fought for yourself. You fought for your artistry. So that's my advice to all actors.
Dope. Okay. And so you got a lot of other stuff going on, outside of obviously just acting and writing, and so you're, the Get It Done Records. Are you in?
Get It Done Records. We're doing.
Industry?
Yeah. We it's a TV and film placement company.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 8 years. I got music in over 50 networks around the world, from House of Lies, Ray Donovan, to NBA TV. We're all over. First Thing First on the ESPN. Next Top Model in Australia. The Voice in Next Top Model in New Zealand, and The Voice in Australia, to big deals in all the Asian continents.
Nice. Do you always have like a love for music?
Yeah. I used to do music really, really heavy about 6-7 years ago, man. Like I personally have 300 songs in our catalog. It's we got over 20 producers. We're constantly getting placements every day. We're always looking for new artists, so shout out to anybody that's interested in doing music for TV and getting placements on films. Reach out, go to getitdonerecords.com.
Get it done.
Check us out, man, and let's collaborate. Let's partner up, man.
For sure.
Definitely.
What's your give us a little, your thoughts on the recent passing of Nipsey, and how he affected your life?
Wow, man. It's just a sad day in the world where individual, because it's bigger than just music. Music is where everybody can just identify him quickly. But when you dig deeper, you see a person that was about the community, that was about family, and was just a great person. So it's sad when a person of his stature and just getting all this attention. We're not mourning because of the music. We're mourning of the individual and how impactful he was as a person. Right. And I think that's what translates to a lot of people that may not even have listened to his music and just discovered the things that he has done in his life. Why everybody is so affected by this, man. And as a person that is, again, from the hood, from that have quote unquote made it out. And I still work with the community. My kids' foundation, Demo Nerds, we work largely with Watts and Compton and downtown Los Angeles with foster kids and at-risk youth. It's definitely an eye-opener that we need to do more. We need to do more in our communities where an individual wouldn't feel the need to act in a way to kill a person that is helping the community. Right. That's the bigger message. That's the bigger message, not to deter you from helping the community. It's to open up our eyes even more to we need to put more attention into the community, because there's individuals that I always say, and I was saying to my team the other day, a hungry mouth would do irrational things. Oh, yeah. It would do irrational things. You know what I'm saying? So the more work that we can do in this community, the more work that we can do in these communities, that will further prevent this from happening. And I just hope that's the bigger message, and it doesn't discourage individuals like us, celebrities, to not be involved because you think something's going to happen. Right. I think that's something that, we really should hone in on, is we need to do more in these communities.
For sure. So you mentioned a little bit about Demo Nerds. When did you start that?
Wow, man, it's almost, we just had a 5-year anniversary, which we've been doing it for 7 years, but I decided I want to keep the 5. I want to do 5. I just didn't want to skip 5. But, man, we're doing, it's been something that,
way to get back to.
It's just something that I would say this, my career began to take off once I started that program. So, you hear the phrase, when you give back, you receive more. Again, these are things that I know. These are things that I know. These are things that I've experienced to be true. And when you give more, you're able to receive more. You empty your cup to fill it up even more. So that's, a large part of my success is due to, the work that I continue to do with these kids.
For sure. And then Only Son Productions.
Only Son Productions, man.
Yeah, so touch a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's that's my writing and production company. We're doing a lot of cool things. I got a lot of deals on the table right now that we're working out and developing, everything from cartoons to features to TV shows to game shows. I got a lot of stuff bubbling on there, and I got a lot of things that I can't really speak on yet. For sure. But in the next year, it's gonna be like back to back to back to back to back.
Well, we're gonna have to have you back on.
So, yeah,
so we can talk about some more of that
yeah.
on the bigger platform. Dope. And then there was the Vineyard's Finest. Do you still do like?
Yeah,
the
that's my T-shirt. That's my brand. It's more of my brand. Again, it's named after the neighborhood that I grew up in, and it's to represent, again, rising from the ashes, being a phoenix in your community. Being a phoenix in your community, that's what the brand represents. And we just recently collaborated with TBS.
Nice.
We did the Cousin Bobby Bombers. They're the pink bombers. You can go on TBS.com. Portions of the proceeds goes towards my kids' foundation, along with everything on vineyardsfinest.com. The proceeds go towards the kids' foundation. Dope. So that's something that I want to continue to build, and they pull it. They go to Cousin Bobby Bombers. There they go. So we're looking to collaborate with more companies. I got some big deals with that coming down the pipe with some very cool clothing companies and some big brands that everybody enjoys that we're going to be collaborating with.
Nice. A lot of great stuff coming your way, man.
Thank you, man.
A lot of blessings. Yeah, just continue to give out. You're doing awesome.
Amen.
So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and then I got just like a couple from online.
Okay, cool.
So what's one of your favorite words?
It's a curse word. Can I say it? Can I say it? I can't say it. Right?
So give us the first letter.
Man. All 5 of them are probably all curse words.
Like the first 2 letters.
The first.
And then we can guess it.
I would say MF is MF is probably top.
Okay. Every time I think of Bernie Mac when I hear him.
Yeah. Bernie Mac. Everybody out there, if you want to learn how to curse properly, watch Harlem Nights.
Yes.
That is a tutorial on how to curse. Learn from the best,
Harlem Nights is a classic.
Harlem Nights is the
classic
tutorial on how to curse. Yes.
No, what's your least favorite word?
Man, I guess no. No, I don't like no.
You don't like no. Okay.
I don't like no.
What's a sound or noise that you love?
Kids laughing.
Nice.
Kids laughing.
How about a sound or noise that you hate?
Kids crying.
Kids crying. I was like, it's probably gonna be crying.
Kids crying.
You're doing a lot, but if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
Oh man, if I wasn't doing it's crazy. I'd be a stripper. I'd be a stripper. That's crazy. That's crazy as it. I know it. Hope it ain't left field. I was a dancer early.
There you go.
During my as a teenager, I was a dancer. And
hey, you get
and this is a fun fact. I used to dance on Soul Train when I was 16.
For real? Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Afion.
Afion,
we was on there together. Afion Crockett, that's my dude.
Do you watch the series now?
I haven't watched it yet. I got to check it out. But that was like the series is way before past, when I was I was on there. But like even my mama know. Even my mama know. Like I was in the gym. I was like, yo, if this acting thing don't work out. And everybody that know, I was gonna be at Right Track. I was gonna be at Right Track stripping. I was gonna get that money you're talking about.
Well, good thing that it did work out because it affected a lot more lives.
Just in case. Hey, let it all fall off tomorrow.
Right.
Catch me at the strip club. Going up.
Going up, right?
Going up.
Bring your ones.
Right.
So what profession would you absolutely not do?
Politics.
Politics, I hear you on that.
Tough, man.
Yeah, for sure. I hear you on that.
Man. That's tough, man. It's a lot of life I want to live, man. Politics is tough, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one from online, if you were given a piece of advice, if you wish you were given one piece of advice before pursuing acting, what would it be?
Wow. That would be approach everything as a business. Think of yourself as a business. This is not a acting career. I repeat. This is not an acting career. This is starting a small business.
Yeah.
This is starting a small business. My career turned around when I took, that motto and applied it to my acting career. Like I am a product. I am a company, and it is my job as the president and CEO to create a brand, create a plan, create an idea of where I want my product to go, the direction, the evolution of it all. All of these things are done by me. And then I have to build my team. I have to build my vice president is that's my manager.
Right.
He, my sales team, that's my agents. They go out and sell the product.
Right.
My marketing, that's my PR. My legal, that's my lawyer. All of these things in any business, these individuals don't dictate the product. The president and the CEO does. Yeah. So they deliver the product to their team, and their team do the work. Their job. So a lot of actors get lost in, their agents being out of position. Meaning that they put their agents as a CEO, and they're doing all of the work, which is a lot to it's one of those things you hear the phrase your right hand, you can't expect your right hand to do with the job of the foot or the brain or et cetera. Like, they're built for a certain thing, right? And you take them out of their natural position, now you're actually now you're going to be disappointed. Exactly. But if you allow them to just do their job, you give them a product. This is where we're going. This is our target demographic, actually. Do what you do best. Go sell. Go get me in the room. Go get me in these auditions. You allow them to be more efficient than having to be like, okay, on top of me having to try to find you auditions, let's figure out what are we doing with your career. Right. Let's talk about headshot. Like, that's not their job. That's not their job. That's your job as a CEO. So approach everything as a small business, and your life will change. I promise.
That's awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Piece of advice for sure. Thank you. And so, last but not least, in Heavens Exist, what would you like God to say to you when you get there?
Welcome. 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 That's what I want to hear.
There you go. There you go. Yes. All right, nice. Well, that wraps up today. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank you, man. It was a great conversation.
Yes, likewise. Thank you so much. Go ahead and tell everyone where to find you, social media, all that.
Please. Everybody go to MaldonadoIsEverywhere.com. You can find everything that I'm doing from the companies, Everybody Digital. Please go download that my short film app. It's free. Yes. You can find me at Maldonado is everywhere on all of your social media platforms, man.
There you go, bro. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm your boy, Danny Royce. You can find me everywhere at I Am Danny Royce. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time here inside the Black Actor Studio. Bye-bye, guys.
Boom, boom.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.